Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing my dupe testing part 2. It will be cheek products and lip products. So if you guys are curious to see if the items in the thumbnail are truly dupes or not, then just keep watching. First dupe that I want to test are these two bronzers. We have the Silky Matte bronzer from Milani. This one's in the shade Sunlight. And we have the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker in the Sun bronzer from Fenty Beauty. This is what they look like here. So we'll start with swatches and then we will try one on one side and one on the other. Milani is much softer, much creamier. And the Fenty one is a bit of a harder pan. But it looks like they are pretty similar. Okay, so after trying both bronzers, I have to say this one is more pigmented. I didn't have to go in with as many layers on the Milani side as I did with the Fenty one. And the Milani has just a slightly cooler undertone, so it's much better for contour. This one's a little bit warmer, just slightly warmer, and it did require much more layering. But would I say that they're pretty comparable as far as being decent contour and bronze powders? I would say yes. I would say this is maybe like an 85% dupe situation. So there you go. Moving on to blush. I have heard that the Tarte Amazonian 12-Hour Clay Blush in Exposed is duped by the e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush in Always Rosy. I've had this one for a while. I got it on Rite Aid like a year ago, thinking that I'd do a Rite Aid clearance makeup video. Never happened. So perfect for today's video. So let's start with some swatches. These don't even look the same in the pan. Not even close. I don't know who suggested this as a dupe, but I think they're wrong. So just from looking at it, I'm not expecting this to be a dupe, but we'll try it anyway. Here they are. We have e.l.f. and we have Tarte. So e.l.f. and Tarte. I'm going to go with no, just right off the bat, but perhaps they're going to look different on the face. So we'll give it a try. Okay, so I have the Tarte Exposed blush on this side, and I have the e.l.f. Rosy blush on this side. They do look very, very similar on the face, even though swatched, this one clearly looks pink, this one does look more rosy. On the face, I'm not sure anyone would even pick up on the fact that these are different. Yes, this one is slightly cooler toned. And this one's a little bit warmer. So I would say, again, about like an 85% dupe. I don't think anyone would notice though, do you? So not bad. We're not getting like spot on, but we're getting close. Okay, next up we have a highlighter dupe to test that I am very excited about. I love both of these highlights. The high-end one is from Lorac. This one is the Daylight highlight. It is beautiful. You don't hear much about this brand anymore, but they make some really fantastic products. I really love their highlights and their eyeshadows. Some of their lipsticks were pretty amazing too. And then the dupe is one that I found. This is the Catrice. It's from the Luminice palette, which was, I think, a holiday one, but I think they do sell these as singles. So from the Luminice palette, it was the soft highlighter in the Feels Gold collection. So this one right here compared to this one right here. So we'll start with swatches. We have Catrice and we have Lorac. Are we ready? Catrice, Lorac. You tell me those are not almost identical. Okay, so there's definitely a winner in this category, and it has to be the Lorac one. I did one swipe and got this beautiful champagne-y golden color, and I went in with 3 or 4 layers on the Catrice, and this one for some reason just looks a little ashier today. So while they look almost identical on my arm, I would say the Lorac is just a hint warmer, but still I'm gonna say it's about like a 95% dupe. Like, we're almost at exactly spot on. This one's just came off a little bit cooler for some reason on this side on top of the rosy blush. Could have been the blush as well. Then this one, I would say, as far as which one I prefer, definitely the Lorac this time. Even though they're so close and definitely dupes for each other, I don't know. This side just didn't impress me this time, although I do use this all over as a glow powder quite often. So there you go. Moving on to lips, we have a high-end, well, we have a couple of high-end items that I think are duped by one more affordable item. So we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lip Liner in Hazelnut, which is right here. We have the Patrick Ta Precision Lip Crayon in She's Strong, right here. That one just looks slightly darker. And then from Alamar Cosmetics, we have Dulce right there. And I feel like these are pretty close to each other. Yeah, I don't really see a whole, this one might be slightly warmer than the other two. I really can't tell a difference. So I'm gonna say Anastasia and Alamar, so let's try them out. Okay, so I have the Anastasia on this side, the Alamar on this side. Can you guys see a difference? Let me get up closer. Do you guys see a difference? If anything, the Anastasia is a hair cooler than the Alamar, but I cannot really tell the difference. So guys, I'm gonna go ahead and say that this is like a spot on dupe. These are like the same color. I can't tell the difference on my lips. On the back of my hand, they look the exact same. So I'm gonna say we found a 100% dupe right here. Next up and last one for part 2 is a lip gloss dupe that everyone's been talking about. It's the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in Fussy and the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in Moon. They do look very similar in the packaging. They're both like a rosy petally shade with a silver micro glitter in it. So let's do swatches. So here is the Maybelline one. Even the wands are very similar. And Fenty. Fenty seems a bit richer in pigment, like maybe a little bit more pinky tone than Maybelline, but we'll see once they're on the lips. Okay guys, we have the Fenty on this side and the Maybelline on this side. Again, barely detectable difference, but I would say that the Fenty one is ever so slightly pinker than the Maybelline. So I would say we're about like an 85% dupe. The doe foot is very similar. The formula is very similar. The shade is very similar. but I do have to say they're just slightly different in color, just enough for me not to be able to give it to like a 90 and above. So I'm going to say about like 85, 88% dupes in my opinion. So all in all, I would say that these products are all dupes for each other. Obviously, the cheaper brand is going to be the dupe for the more expensive product, but maybe you're the opposite. Maybe you saw something at the drugstore and you're like, I want to know if there's a high-end product out there. You do you. But I think we found some really nice ones. I think the bronzers were very similar. Of the two, I prefer the Milani. It was just a lot easier to use. Not as many layers required. The blushes were both really nice. I think of the two, I prefer the Tarte color just because it was a slightly cooler color than the e.l.f. one, but still really nice. The highlights, of course, Lorac, just their formula is amazing, but the Catrice is definitely a dupe for this highlight. If you're looking for an affordable option, Catrice's highlights are fantastic. The glosses of the two, I don't really have a preference. I think they're both really nice. I would use both of them. And the liners, all three, pretty similar. Can't really tell a difference. So Alamar Cosmetics, I think is like $12 versus the Anastasia or the Patrick Ta, which I think are like the 20-ish range. So save a little money there and go with Alamar. So hope you guys enjoyed this dupes video part 2. There will be a part 3 and possibly a part 4 coming. So stay tuned for those. If you did enjoy this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.